Welcome back everyone to more NASCAR Racing 2003 season. And I am very happy to be back doing some recording. I've actually been under the weather quite a bit since around Christmas time. So it's been much too long since my voice has felt okay. And overall, I haven't been so much under the weather. So hopefully my voice will hang in there today and we can get some gameplay done. So we're here in the late model mod. Now, before we get to today's gameplay, if you haven't had a chance already, go back and take a look at the setup discussion that I did in our most recent NR2003 video, because that's where I go over a baseline setup that I use for all of the late model races that we'll be doing, because it gives me an opportunity to drive something that is very stable and something I can take to all the different tracks and spend most of my time racing and not a lot of time working on setups and really going through a lot of that. So it's very efficient for me to use a baseline such as the one I talk about in that discussion. And overall, that's a similar type of setup that I use as a baseline in all of the different types of physics that we do here on the channel, because, well, it's nice and stable and it gives me something that I can adjust from. Obviously, in all of the different types of physics, there's going to be adjustments that I'm going to need to make to account for that. But overall, it works very well and does exactly what I need it to do, which is to provide me with something very stable from the get-go that I can make a few tweaks from track to track. And here we go. So for today's race, we are headed to the Motordrome. Now, obviously, the WKC extension, we have done other tracks in the past with that extension. So this is a modder that I am very fond of. This is the type of track that I enjoy racing on. The quality is good. The AI seem to be really good. I have not done any racing at this track yet, but the practice that I did do against the AI seemed to be doing just fine. Now, obviously, you see that the number of cars at this track, we're not going to be able to fit a full car set, so only 27 cars at this track, but that's okay. We will work with that. In fact, it'll make the traffic just a little bit less. Now, one more thing that I want to do before we head to the track is I'm going to click on the options button so that you can get an idea of what this track actually looks like in real life. Obviously located in Pennsylvania. It's a short track. I love short tracks, so let's get going.
Drivers, start your engines!
There you have it. Engines are fired. We'll be going green here very shortly. Excuse me very much there, Mark Day. Almost had a collision before we even got going. So I decided to qualify. It's a short race. I did end up changing it from, I believe, like 23 laps up to 45 to give us a little bit more time. Hopefully my voice and the pedals will hang in there for that long. All right, we did not get a very good start here on the outside. My man Sterling Mullen just did not get going. All right, so 45 laps. It's not very long, but it's plenty long enough if we've got speed to get to the front.
20.236, clear.
So if you watch the setup video, this is the track that I was working on a setup for when I decided to do that video. I have since made a couple more changes. I believe the only changes really I've made since that video is I increased the rear springs, both of them, by I believe 50 pounds is how that turned out. But everything else I want to say is identical. Alright, so right now we're sort of stuck on the outside trying to get past Mark Day.
Clear, 18.824.
Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with any of these drivers, some of them I am not familiar with, but some of them, particularly the ones that are going to find their way to the front a lot, are the ones that I am familiar with. And that's the kind of thing I like to do when I'm doing the ratings, is I like to have the guys that I'm familiar with running toward the front. Just makes things more fun for me. Generally, and Mark Day is somebody that I am very familiar with. I've watched him race quite a bit. All right, so we have found our way into third now. So a good start. Looks like everybody is starting to spread out quite a bit, actually. So here in the top 3, we are pulling away. Not sure if we're going to have enough time to get into lap traffic.
18.184. The next car is the leader.
Now the 19 car, I do not know who that is. So I do like to, you know, as much as I like to have the familiar drivers up front, I also like to sprinkle in some others that I'm not familiar with. And the 19 is definitely one of those. But I love that paint scheme.
4, 3, outside. The next car is the leader, still there.
So if you want to run up front in my AI ratings and my AI car sets, then have a good looking paint scheme. So that always helps.
Keep low.
The car's rotating really well. The reason why I wanted to add a little bit more rear spring is I didn't want to add more split, so I increased both rear springs. And that's just to help with the rotation a little bit overall. I wanted to keep more front nose weight in it. Oop, come on now, pedals, let's go.
18.389.
This track does not have a lot of grip in it. It does not feel, and I don't feel any multiple grooves here. Looks like right around the bottom is where you want to be. Because when we were running up, you know, about a lane and a half off the bottom, I did not feel any grip there, so I don't think we've got anything there. Alright, Sterling has some very good pace here. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to catch him. We'll see what kind of longer run car we have. Again, 45 laps is not exactly a long run, but we'll see what we've got. The car's definitely going to be tight. But hopefully not too tight. Come on now, pedals.
18.380.
But I've got the pedals all picked out that I want to get. It's just that there's a few more things I want to check on. This will be the first time for me in quite a while, and I mean a long time, that I've had a wheel and pedals that do not match. So for example, if you were talking about the Logitech G920, obviously it comes with wheel and pedals, and you can plug the pedals directly into the wheel. So it's essentially a complete set. This will be my first time not having that.
18.460.
So I just want to make sure that all of the games I'm interested in playing are okay with that, having two separate setups like that. I believe we're going to be okay. Everything I've seen so far tells me that that should not be an issue. Alright, so these guys are coming back on me from behind. That's actually very good to see. That's what I like. Oh, come on, you can hear those pedals. Or more specifically, the throttle pedal. Not wanting to get full throttle. So yeah, I'm at the point now where I am tired of trying to clean these things, recalibrate it, to try to take advantage of the current state of the pedals. I'm tired of doing all that, and I've just about convinced myself that spending that extra money is going to be worth it. Time will tell, of course.
18.207.
But there was a time, several years ago now, that I did have separate pedals, and they were very nice. I had the CST pedals, and had those for seemingly forever. Probably a decade or more. So I definitely see the worth and the value in having pedals that cost a bit more up front, but certainly show their value over the long haul. And I'm hoping this next set of pedals that I get will do the same thing.
397.
Alright, so Sterling has gotten away from me here. He's running a pace that I cannot run currently. I'm going to need a little bit more rotation out of the car if I'm going to do that. But it looks like we're squarely in the top 3 to 5 on speed right now. It's kind of hard to tell because you can hear it sometimes off the corner. when I'm in the gas, the car just really doesn't want to go. So I'm trying to work with that throttle pedal and see if I can get full throttle out of it. But I'm really enjoying this track.
18.2.
This track is a lot of fun. The only thing that would be a little bit worrisome for me in real life here would be the backstretch.
There are the cross flags. We're halfway home. 18.
Where you don't have the complete
7-3.
wall. You know, you've got the entrance there coming onto the track right about there. I could just see clipping that. Of course, in real life, who knows? They might have some sort of a gate that closes over that, or some sort of a meaningful solution rather than just having it open. Who knows? But that would be the only worrisome thing. I'd really hate to hit that thing. You know, if you get contact with somebody, get a little too high and clip that opening.
.285.
But yeah, car's handling pretty good. Again, it's going to be a little tight, particularly on the exit. That's that stability I wanted to build in.
18.21.
Because right now I'm just as soon not having to fight spinning out on every exit of the corner. Alright, so we are getting into lap traffic for sure. Or at least Sterling is up there. Really sad to see Sterling unable to race because of health reasons now. He's been racing for so long at such a high level. It's gotten to the point where I just keep waiting to hear the news that they've been able to help him out with his health and he's able to get back in the car. That's very unlikely to happen, I believe, but I've been watching him my entire life race. Started out watching him when I was really little at the Nashville short track. Then he went into NASCAR, and of course he was there forever. And then he went back to Nashville after his retirement from NASCAR. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do when I show up to the racetrack and Sterling is not in one of the cars.
18.441.
All right, let's see if we can move around a little bit. This is where those multiple grooves would be helpful. Because I could definitely use it right now.
That car's a lap down. 18.
All right, car's a lap down. Let's see, where is he going to give me? It looks like he wants to give me the bottom. If I can get there right now, it's going to be a question. I would just as soon him give me the second groove.
18.570. Car inside. Keep high. Clear inside.
Alright, so these guys are going to go side by side in front of me.
Inside.
Alright, I'm going to need you, is it 17? Or I'm going to need you to get down to the bottom.
18.86.
Because I am struggling enough as it is. I don't need you guys to slow me up even more.
Still there.
So this is where you bring everybody back together. Because this is very much a one-groove track.
That car's a lap down. Clear. 18.744.
Alright, let's see if we can get back to the bottom. I don't know if we can or not, but I'm certainly better off down here if I can make it happen.
Car outside. 18.713. Still there. Clear outside.
As bad as I've done with this traffic so far, Sterling is still right there. He's not gone anywhere. He's struggling too.
That car's a lap down. 18.543.
Yeah,
Car
no doubt.
outside.
The bottom is still very much where I need to be. We should have enough to
Outside. That car's a lap down.
get position there. Kind of slide by him.
18.6. NR2003. Clear.
And that clear signal is exactly what I was wanting to hear. Looks like we've stretched out a little bit in traffic over the third place
That
car.
car's a lap down. 18.458 outside.
Sometimes you just put it down in the corner and hope that the lap traffic sees you're there and gives you room.
Clear outside. That car's a lap down. Inside 18.
Well, that just sort of worked out to get on the high side there. Not exactly what I was planning.
Next car's the leader. Keep high.
All right, big guy. Come on now.
Clear. Inside. Keep high.
All right, there we go.
Clear. 18.927.
I wonder what lap we're on. We should be somewhere close to 10 to go if we've not already passed it. I may have missed it.
18.471.
All right, you can see Sterling is
Next car's the
right
leader.
there. But he can't get by.
We got trouble in turn 3.
Oh, we got trouble.
Just 2 to go.
Again, because... Oh, 2 to go. Yes, so I did miss the
18.254.
10 laps to go. Because we're running without caution flags, my only hope is that they get it all cleared up and everybody gets off the track before we get back to it. And it looks like they did. All right, final lap.
White flag. 1 more lap to go.
I don't think we got anything for Sterling, especially since he's just now cleared that lap traffic. And we're getting no pressure from behind, so it looks like we're going to be able to cruise on to the almost said cruise on to the victory there. It felt like a victory.
There's the flag. It's over.
All right, good job by Sterling there. Pulled
Great
off
job, buddy.
the victory. So let's see, where did everybody finish up? Let's go ahead and get out of the car. All right, there you can see the car I'm driving, the number 13, that white car. Again, that red interior that's all I can see in the rearview mirror, so I don't know about that. But other than that, we had 21 cars on the lead lap. Remember, we only had room for 28 cars total at the track, so not quite our full contingent of cars. I see some cars that I expected to finish well. There's Willie Allen there, Mark Day, who moved backwards a little bit to the 10th. There's Stephen Nassy, Augie Grill. So some of these guys, I don't see a few others. So it looks like the random draw of who got included in the race and who didn't with the restricted starting spots. Looks like Ty Majeski got cut. There's Quapple. He made it. Buddy Kofoid is in there. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the guys. Bolden is in here, but I do not see a few of them that I would have preferred to see. But hey, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Overall, that was some fun racing. We had some side-by-side here at the very beginning. Then toward the middle, of course, we got into just logging laps, trying to hit your marks, save the tires so you'll have something for the end. And then by the end, we were able to pull back a lot closer to Sterling than I anticipated and away from everybody through that lap traffic. So that was a lot of fun. Hopefully, all of the other short tracks we'll be doing over the next few weeks will be just as fun as the Motordrome. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more NR2003.